reshaping not just the way we learn, but also the way we work. Are we adapting fast enough? As we dive into the impact of AI on education, quote by Stephen Hawking, intelligence is the ability to adapt to change. With our esteemed panelists, we will uncover how AI is revolutionizing classrooms and industries alike. So let's shake off the post-lunch drowsiness and get ready for a session that will fire. I would like to welcome for our next panelist, Dr. Manish Sharma. He is a distinguished researcher and academician with a PhD in electronics engineering, machine learning, and artificial intelligence, and over 14 years of experience in machine learning, artificial intelligence, and data science. Currently serving as a head of innovation and incubation cell and associate professor at D.Y. Patil College of Engineering, Pune, he has made significant contributions to cognitive learning, deep learning, neural networks, and optimization techniques. With more than 50 research papers, 5 patents, and multiple book chapters, his expertise spans NLP, computer vision, and reinforcement learning. He has also served as a reviewer for esteemed IEEE journals and conferences, demonstrating his commitment to advancing technology and education. I request Dr. Ganeshan Sir, CFO, Modern Education Society, to felicitate Dr. Manish Sharma with token of appreciation. Thank you, sir. I request Sharma sir to take your seat on the dais. Thank you. Our next panelist is Mr. Sanket Modak. He is an experienced functional safety manager specializing in ISO 26262 compliance for automotive subsystems in passenger and commercial vehicles. With a strong background in automotive system design and engineering, he has held key leadership roles at Magna Steyr, Fezugric Technique, ZF Active Safety, GmbH, and Veralt. His expertise spans stress analysis, product design, PPAP, finite element analysis, and automotive engineering. Holding an MTech in automotive engineering and BE in mechanical engineering, Sanket is dedicated to ensuring functional safety and reliability in cutting-edge automotive technologies. I request Dr. Pranoti Mane Madam, Head ENT Department of Electronics and Telecommunication, to felicitate Mr. Sanket Modak sir with token of appreciation. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. I request sir to take your seat on the dais. Thank you. Our next panelist, Ms. Sneha Bhapkar. She is the co-founder of Shunya OS, where they build innovative AI and IoT products. She has a strong understanding of AI, particularly in computer vision, and is an NVIDIA DLI ambassador. She focuses on helping students shift from a student mindset to a professional one, emphasizing system thinking and practical learning. Her work bridges the gap between education and industry, preparing students for real-world challenges. I request Dr. Kota sir to felicitate Ms. Sneha Bhapkar with a token of appreciation. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. I request you to take your seat on the dais. Today, for this session, along with these 3 panelists, we also do have 2 more panelists joining online with this discussion. Preeti Bhaviskar. Preeti Bhaviskar is a seasoned edtech electronic AI innovator with over 25 years of experience in transforming education through technology. As the founder of School Uni Guide at Pi Academy, she has been at forefront of integrating AI-driven solutions into the education sector. A passionate AI strategist, trainer, and business consultant, she empowers education leaders with innovative strategies to enhance learning experiences and institutional growth. Through her expertise, she bridges the gap between AI, education, and business access. I welcome Preeti Baviskar. Is she there? Along with her, we also do have Ms. Ishita Baviskar, who will be joining with us online today for this session. She is the co-founder of SchoolUniGuide.com and an AI growth advisor for education, dedicated to transforming the education sector through AI-driven solutions. With a business management degree from Loughborough University, she specializes in connecting edtech businesses, consultants, and institutions to optimize platforms that enhance growth and visibility. She also trains educators and school staff on AI integration, conducts webinars across the UK, and provides strategic insights to help institutions leverage AI for innovation. Through her work, she empowers students and educators to navigate the future of education with clarity and confidence. I welcome Ishita Baviskar. Now I request all the panelists to start with the discussion, as we are bridging, as the topic for this discussion is industry academia gap. Thank you.
So good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would like to congratulate Wadia College of Engineering for organizing this wonderful symposium. I have observed two things which I would like to appreciate here. That first thing is that this event has been organized by Department of Electronics and Telecommunication. This is the symposium on AI, and it has been organized by ENTC. So it is good to see that the other departments have also understood the importance of AI in all the interdisciplinary branches. So that is one thing I would like to appreciate. Second thing, I would like to appreciate the sequence of our panel. Initially, in first and second panel, we have discussed the aspect of industries as far as AI is concerned, and that has given us the target that from academia point of view, what should be our responsibility to bridge this gap as the academician, and from the point of view of students, what are the skill sets we should work upon, and what are the industries expecting from us. So these things we will be able to understand in this panel discussion. I am fortunate to have such a wonderful panel members along with me in this panel. We have Mr. Sanket, who has worked in automotive vehicles, autonomous vehicles, where he is working on driverless vehicles. So in AI, these are two extreme ends of AI, that applying an AI and the software is not working properly in an application, and on the other extreme we are putting the life of a person at stake using AI in a driverless vehicle. So that is something which we should discuss upon. We are also having some entrepreneurs in our panel, so that you will be able to understand that what are the opportunities as far as AI is concerned in the market, to have our own startups. These days, many of the students are coming up with their ideas in our incubation centers as well, to solve some problems. We have two experts from UK which are having their own startups in edtech also. So that perspective we will also discuss, that as far as AI is concerned, how impactful it is there in the education system. Because in the COVID period, we have seen that online education was not that successful. Because when we are teaching our students these days and we ask some basic problems of calculus, and when we come to know that these students have done their 11th and 12th at the COVID period, the expectation automatically comes down because that output is not there from those students. So there in that COVID period, this was proven that online education is not that much successful, and thanks to the student for that, for saving our job as an academician, because if that would be successful, we would be obsolete then. So we will be discussing upon all these aspects. But one more thing I would like to highlight at this particular point, that we are, from the morning itself, we are only talking about AI. But AI is not the technology which can in isolation, which can work, because to train a large language model, we are requiring high performance computing, we got GPUs, processing advancements. We could not be able to train our models if we would not be having our big data analytics tools like Hadoop and Spark. We would not be able to deal with that huge amount of data which these days are generating. Without cloud computing, we could not be able to store that data and have the virtual machines to process that data within a fraction of a second without having the resources available at local machines. Without computing, without quantum computing, will not be able to address the higher computation facilities as well. So there are so many technologies which are also requiring their due recognition along with this AI. So in the future also, I would be looking forward to have such type of symposium at various academic institutions where all the other technologies also will be discussed, and the experts from the industry will also be called upon, because these days most of the students are only working on AI based solutions. Even if it is not required, even if the student is working on a fire detection system, he is calling it as AI based fire detection system, where he is only requiring a fire sensor and a relay to energize the alarm. But there also the students are using AI. So I would like to quote the saying of our Chief Innovation Officer, Mr. Dr. Abhay Jere. He always keep on saying that don't try to solve a problem which doesn't even exist. So as a student, we should work on these things. As an academician also, I would like to say one thing that my PhD guide used to say. Earlier in the other panels, some students have discussed upon the use of AI at ChatGPT for academics, and they have just tried to justify that. But as an academician, we should try to make the student learn during that process as well. My guide used to say that the best guide is one who can misguide you properly. So if we would be able to do that, so that we know that where we want our student to reach, but if we will tell them other ways also to reach there, then they will learn a lot. So during that journey, they will learn a lot. So with this, I would also like to welcome our panel members, and we'll be discussing about the impact of AI on the education system and industries as well. Because this is the journey. 15 years back, when we used to attend the conferences on AI, the titles used to be International Conference on Artificial Intelligence or International Conference on Machine Learning. But after 1.5 decades or 2 decades, we are having a symposium whose topic is impact of AI on learning and industry jobs. So this itself shows the journey and the evolution of AI from last 2 decades. So let us start with this panel discussion. I would like to try to moderate this particular panel discussion along with my panel members. So welcome you all.
Good afternoon, everybody. My role or my domain is more focused on cars. So everything about automotive is which I work on. And I was fortunate enough to at least work on, or at least be able to drive vehicles that do not have an absolute AI को तो छोड़ो, but उसमें automotive में autonomous या automatic नाम का कुछ नहीं था. So I was simply able to drive, let's say, a basic Premier Badmini. I was also fortunate to drive the Mercedes autonomous cars or the BMW vehicles, which are automated in now. So jokingly in my organization, I tell to my peers that I belong to an era which, it starts from BC and goes until AD. So that means it starts with before ChatGPT and ends with after DeepSeek. So I've seen that mechanical to the E&D transition and the autonomous part of it. And add to the complexity, I'm a mechanical engineer. So I've been using all the stress strain algorithms. And for me, when I graduated, the AI thing or the automation thing was kind of very much on a different level. So the transition from a mechanical engineering to a safety was altogether different. But then now when I take interviews of students which are willing for the role for a safety engineer, normally what I do is I devise safe cars. So by safe cars, it means the mechanisms, the airbags or the transmissions that you have, which are now automatic, wherein humans doesn't have control. So that's where your safety is of utmost concern. So since morning what we were discussing, all the AI algorithms or those, okay, we were applying it to a model, but try applying it to a car and you sit in it. Will you be risking yourself for that? What we were taught to what the industry demands, the gap was widening and it is still widened now, even further. So we also talked in the morning about Industry Revolution 4.0. But then when there was the first industrial revolution, it took time to reach to the masses. I'm talking about the steam engine. But now when we have the Industry 5.0 right now today, the first or one of the important pillars of Industry 5.0 is AI. But whenever as soon as it starts evolving, it's there. It's on your doorstep. So the time to react is so quick that even if whenever the attempt is for the colleges to at least take some actions. But as soon as we start taking actions, the industry have already started developing those. So it is that fast. So the readiness of the students, how actually we want them to, shape up with, or at least is what we will be discussing. Some key skills which do not change over time, which are domain knowledge, which we already touched upon. The passion or the creativity which everybody should have, and how can the students use it for their excellence and for getting a job or maybe starting a business of themselves. We also will tackle that point. I'll at least hand over this to Sneha so that she can take it over for the next one.
Okay, hello everyone. So, I've been working in AI, specifically in computer vision, since 2018. And so we have our own company where we build AI products. But today, here I'm specifically for future of jobs and how it is shaped because of AI. And in entrepreneurship as well, if student wants to build some products, how can AI leverage that? So one of the key things that I would like to, I think most of the here are faculties and not students, but still I think you can pass on the message to the students that I think he also pointed out the difference of the mindset from student to entrepreneur, like how it differs. So usually when it comes to students, like we are taught to follow instructions and do the things that are needed to do, submit the things on deadlines, right? But when it comes to dynamic world, there are so many problems students face and they are not ready for that because they have never thought to fail. And failing was a big issue and it still is, I guess. But I would say what I have learned from a personal experience is whenever I failed, at that time only I have learned, and that has been constant. So for students, especially in this era of AI where social media is a hype and everyone is on social media. So when students are seeking for opportunities, they are seeking, I would say they are just trying to see the package. Like if they want to get placed in particular company, they see if the package is good. And most of the time that is the only thing. I mean, I agree that security is the first thing that they need to look forward to. But what are the skills? Like even if you want to get a good package, what are the skills that are required are really, really important. So, I think would you like to talk about the difference, like how can they get more skills when it comes to the transition from student to entrepreneur or the founder's mindset?
Yeah, I'll definitely take about that. But maybe before that, let Preeti and Ishita also have a, they can brief about their role here, and then we can come about it.
Preeti, can you hear us?
I think that the audio on this this Teams is quite ahead. The voice is not really clean. Yeah, I think the voice should not be breaking up. I didn't say anything about it.
Just a minute.
So by the time the problem gets solved, technical solved, I would like to ask our panel members that what should be the approach to teach AI? Because we in the morning itself we are discussing about the impact or utilization of AI in education. But if we want to teach our students AI, what should be the approach? Whether we should teach them in a black box way that these are the packages they should use it for this particular application, or should we teach them the engineering aspect and the modeling aspect of those mathematical models or machine learning models which students are having? What should we teach them? From the point of view of industry.
Okay, so I think whenever it comes to teaching AI, it might be a little technical, but it is about the core principles, and like every subject has core principles and then they never change, right? It's like the universal rules. So in AI, it is about how the neural network gets trained, how the parameters change, the things like that. So it is about starting with the basics, where they absolutely don't, even if they don't have any knowledge. It's like teaching a child. I think everyone has mentioned that today, but it is teaching a child with technical parameters. So you have to learn that first, how the neural network gets trained, and then eventually we can build on that. Because in AI there are multiple fields like computer vision, NLP. So many fields are built upon that. So I think we can start with basics. I would also like to talk about the attitude when it comes to learning, because most of the times we have the perception that we already know things, and if we have that perception, then there is nothing else that we can do to break that perception. So we'll have to have the open mind that they say that the power of I don't know, right? The power of not knowing is very important, where you focus on the things that you don't know, and then you learn those things with the attitude of not knowing. So that is the first thing that I would like to say. Yeah.
Sanket,
Yeah.
what is your take?
And to add to it, also when I put it in the vehicle perspective, the requirement that I have for understanding the vehicle in itself, you cannot simply forget the physics behind or the vehicle dynamics behind, the AI thing came later on, or the mathematical model came later on. But you had the physics of failure first. You had the vehicle dynamics first. So if you know that, if you have that as a domain knowledge first, that would really help you to at least accelerate using computational methods. Because as somebody rightly said in the morning, prompt engineering is something which you should exactly know what you should be triggering, so that the 80% of the computation is done by AI, and then you will again as an expert require that additional 10% later on, so that whatever is the creative part of it, wherein what data is extracted, does it make sense? To at least know that, you should understand the physics of how the vehicle is modeled. So if that, because I remember I was taking some interviews, and I just asked them a question that, okay, if you are determining the stopping distance of a vehicle, like this was used in ADAS. So if you are determining the stopping distance of a vehicle, what would that be? He said, I would just generate an algorithm and then the radar would capture it. I said, fine, the automated aspects I understand, but what are the physics behind that? He was blank. Later on I asked him, okay, do you know something about v is equal to u plus at, v square is equal to u square plus 2as, and he started looking me like, what am I talking about? So if the basics are not clear, then it is very difficult to delve into the overall topic of AI, because the stopping distance is one simple thing. You can apply it to any physical parameters. You directly simple apply it to a physical attribute, and you need to understand that domain knowledge. This is what I think.
Because these days the AI technologies are also changing with such a fast pace that by the time we will be teaching the students about the fundamental machine learning models, automatically the new technology will come into existence, which is named as automate the automation. So by the time we will be teaching the students these techniques, some other developer has already trained his own model to automate the things. So this way it is killing the jobs of the engineers, which we are teaching to the students from the academician point of view. By the time we will be teaching them how the students can cope up with this progress of machine learning and AI. I would like to add something on this.
Yeah, so as we know that AI tools are everywhere, and there is no other alternative than using AI tools. So, but how to use the AI tools? I think most of here people have pointed out that if we are using AI tools, we are not using our brain, and we are not improving our brain strength, right? But I think it is also important to know where to use the brain and where not to. Right. So for example, they say prompt engineering. So most of the times what happens is, like, as an entrepreneur, you have a problem to solve. But if you don't have clarity on what exactly the problem is, that is where the first hurdle is. And with most of the students, even if we communicate that problem statement, they're not able to understand like what exactly the problem is, because there are so many distractions in their lives. Like if they understand the problem statement, then after some time they'll go to Insta, they'll delve into that. They don't get the time to like sink in that problem statement, understand what exactly it is. So first hurdle is that like we need to, as an entrepreneur, as an students, most of the time we need to understand what exactly we want to do, like having the goal clarity is extremely important, and that's the first step which we most of the times ignore. So I think if you want to cope up with like AI and get the best outcome from the AI tools that you are using, having goal clarity is extremely important.
Yeah, I'll give you an example wherein I was working with an intern in my organization. The goal was to develop or design an airbag. So I told him that, okay, write a requirement, what will you be writing, so that at least that will go into the hardware or the software as a requirement. He simply was a fresher, of course, but then he had some tool which he used, and he wrote a requirement. The airbag should be deployed in case of a crash. Now, fundamentally, there is nothing wrong in this. But what is horribly wrong or missing in this is the time is not specified. That is something which is of utmost importance, and the moment I told him this, his reaction was, 0 seconds. 0 second is, okay, a quantity which cannot be justified, because you will have some finite duration, some milliseconds from the time you sense that crash till the airbag is actually deployed. That can be 2 milliseconds, that can be 4 milliseconds, but that cannot be 0 milliseconds. But he couldn't visualize that scenario. He said as soon as, for him as soon as was 0. But unless he was not able to visualize that scenario, that thing, AI or any tool for that matter, is not going to give you. Like I remember in, let's say, UK or in other countries, when the children are, having trips, they are made, the trips are normally in natural history museum or in zoos, wherein they are actually made to see live animals, live things in 3D. They are able to touch, feel that. The intent is basically, this is they need to see how they look actually, so that this habit continues. For us, we are only taught that this is a lion in a book. We don't actually see how big it is, what traits does it have. So that those are some things which typically demonstrate how we look at things, how we visualize things, how we feel things. So that's where the role of students is more important. The more they visualize, the more they see, then they are able to build good mathematical models out of it, because that's purely out of their visualization.
Yeah, I would like to add more to this particular point, because being from the machine learning background only, from the point of view of teacher as well as from the point of a student, we should be more emphasizing on the mathematical model of the system or the machine learning algorithm which we are dealing with, whether it is support vector machine or artificial neural network. Because if someone will ask you to, as well as from the point of a student, we should be more. So we should work on the mathematical model as well, because fundamental model will always going to remain as artificial neural network only. Because whether we go for the deep learning or for reinforcement learning or for transfer learning, for all these advanced levels of learning algorithms, the fundamental building block is going to be neural network only, and few modifications will only be there in the new technologies. So as a teacher, we should more rely on teaching the students the mathematics of all the fundamental things, so that the student will be.
For a while, no one can hear us. We're not sure when we're getting a chance to speak. So, are you going to help with the audio or something? Because it's been 37 minutes. We're just here like lemons. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, maybe
You are audible now, Ishita. You can start speaking.
Okay, great. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Yeah, you can start, Ishita.
Okay, perfect. No worries. Thank you so much. So the audio was cutting a little bit, but I think Dr. Manish, you gave a really good introduction from what we heard, and it's amazing to see you guys, in a completely different country, and here we are online. But it's great to connect. So I'm Ishita. I'm the co-founder of schooluniguide.com. So we are in the edtech marketplace, and we provide AI-powered recommendations for students and parents in order to help them navigate their educational journey. So whether it be studying abroad, perhaps if you're looking to study in the UK university and you want to make that transition from India to the UK, so we give you AI-powered recommendations for that, as well as schools, consultants, and much, much more. So that's a little bit of an introduction about me. I will pass it on to Preeti now.
So hi, good afternoon, and here is the morning anyway. So good afternoon to everybody. Thank Coming to the Pi Academy is especially specializing in providing e-learning resources to the UK student who wanted to do their GCSEs or A-level exam. And when it comes to the School Uniguide, Ishita has already introduced you. So we are using heavily AI into the School Uniguide as well as in the Pi Academy to do multiple things. When it comes to the Pi Academy, we are using AI to do the graded marking system. Along with that, we are already automated lot of workflow automations in Pi Academy. And when it comes to the School Uniguide, we are having ongoing project going on AI personalized recommendations, which is using agentic AI. So this is pretty much about my background as an entrepreneur and use of AI in the education. Thank you so much.
So I would like to continue
Hope you
this
guys
discussion.
heard us well.
So there is one concept which is known as AI bias in education. I would like to throw some light. I would like to request Ishita to throw some light on that.
Could you please repeat your question again, just so I can hear it once? Hopefully it'll be more clear this time.
There is one term that is AI bias in education. AI bias. So can you please throw some light on this particular aspect of AI bias?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, that's a really good and hot topic currently. I think AI bias is in various industries, not just limited to education, but for the sake of this amazing symposium, we'll talk about in education. So as we see, especially in the education industry, nowadays AI systems are really being implemented. So for instance, whether it be automated exam proctoring, which here, AI systems are used in order to analyze how a student undertakes its online exams. So here, like a traditional exam system where the teacher will be there, it will be looking at how the student is taking the exam, whether they are cheating, whether they're looking around. Here, we're essentially replacing the teacher. So the AI system will be able to basically track the student's eye movement. It will also be able to track, for instance, keystroke patterns to see whether they are, switching tabs, going on to Google to look for answers, for instance. So in this case, yes, that can be amazing. It can really save teachers time. It can really eliminate the teacher's presence and give them more, time to spend on valuable things, whether it be lesson planning, for instance. However, I think a big risk in this is definitely bias, AI bias. Now, AI bias can definitely emerge in this case because let's say a student is, for instance, just doing its work, completing the online exam, but they might have special needs. So they could be a neurodivergent student, for instance, a student with ADHD. And in this case, a student might be, looking around, possibly outside where the webcam is facing, not because they are essentially cheating, but just because that's how they have to live with ADHD, for instance, or they might fidget. Now, an AI system, when implemented, it may just be trained on the traditional student who will be aware that they're in exam conditions and they are filling out the questions as they would normally in the classroom. So again, a bias can emerge in this case where they probably target those students that have tendencies, learning disabilities, and it may give them a lower mark. So AI bias can definitely be a high risk in this situation. But there are also, many ways to overcome it. So I think one of the main reason we're having this talk is in order to provide light on having human oversight. So it's really important to be a teacher and to see whether this outcome, the mark that the student got, is because of other circumstances, for instance, whether it be learning disabilities. And more widely, in order to tackle the issue of bias, we should definitely ensure that the AI systems we use are trained on a diverse data set, not just limited to the traditional school-going student, for instance. So yeah, that's what I want to talk about AI bias. If anybody has any more points to add, that would be great to learn as well.
So I will also add there can be the data biases or the ethical biases. I mean, we can go deep down into all sort of biases or maybe, gender bias. So we need to think about all these biases as well.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'm audible or not.
Yeah, you are. And
just to add to that point of bias, I think many of the AI systems currently, as we're still developing, they are also trained on certain writing or essay styles. So, for instance, they might give more importance to, I don't know, maybe British language English than an American English, where they use the Z's instead of the S, for instance. Or they might favor for instance, in an interview situation, if an AI is, analyzing the interview, they may have a bias towards people who have a different accent, for instance. So in this case, that can be really detrimental because students can have the same amount of knowledge or the same amount of insight at the job interview, but an AI is not able to filter that out. So just bridging on from that, I think it's also really crucial to have explainability AI. So when we do use AI systems within the education space, we need to ensure that there's also something we call XAI, which is explainability AI, which is able to actually provide us with the insight on the decisions that were made in order to whether reject or accept an applicant. So rather than just relying wholly and solely on the final outcome, we should really place emphasis emphasis on understanding what were the steps taken to reach that outcome. And from there, we can understand whether there is bias and again, feedback into that loop of, constantly improving the systems we use within, candidacy applications, for instance, in the education space.
Sanket, you want to add something?
In fact, I just wanted to work on or talk about or ask you a question about the mindset that generally we see, because AI as a tool is developing. There is going to be much more about it. But then if we look at the student focus, what it was maybe about 2 decades ago and what it is today. So what has changed, and how has AI been the catalyst in changing that from, because since you've been teaching students from an academic point of view, maybe I just want to have that question over to you.
So I still remember 15 years back when I started my PhD and started working on the neural network, where I had to replace the sigmoid activation function by a wavelet. That time the support was not there as far as Python. These days we are having Python, well defined and matured libraries are available, tools are available, though in those days even the MATLAB was not that matured. So there we had to derive the complete mathematical model using the Taylor series and Maclaurin series, the students must have heard about, and the linearized models for those, a non-linear model has been generated, and we have to write the complete code in those days. But these days what the students are having, the facility of these black box models of all the machine learning models, they just have to go to Python, they just have to call some libraries, scikit-learn, they have to access and just call any, instantiate any function model, instantiate any model, and they just have to use it. They are not going to the background mathematics of those models. That is something which is making them weaker, because if they will be knowing the background mathematics, they will be knowing that which machine learning model or AI model will be best suited for the data which they are having, the problem which they are having. So if they will be addressing that problem and then identifying the machine learning model or deep learning model, then it will be beneficial for them. But what the students these days are doing, that they are first of all identifying the model first, and then they are looking after their data. And if the exploratory data analysis is something which the students are not doing that rigorously these days. So these are few things which the students should work upon, and over the period of time, the maturity of all these technologies has negative impact on the learning capabilities of the students as well. So that is what I have observed.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what has happened is all the tools, like new tools that are coming in, like ChatGPT or Instagram Reels, for example, all these tools are built for consumer to stay on the platform. So they give this satisfaction, like instant satisfaction. So if myself want to train the reels on some comedy videos, for example, I'll just stay 2 seconds on the same reel, and then I'll get the same reels like again and again. So it has become extremely easy to get instant satisfaction from all these tools, including ChatGPT. So whenever I want to create some application, I just put a prompt and then I get the application. So I think definitely from education point of view, when it comes to learning, it has drastically changed when it comes to learning specifically, because all these tools are giving instant satisfaction, and that's what we need. And I think by getting the satisfaction, we feel that I did it and not the tool did it. So I think that is the major change that I can see in students, or at my perspective as well.
I would also like to add one more thing here, that as an academicians, we tried to catch that whether the students has copied it from ChatGPT or not. We have come up with some plagiarism checking software like Turnitin. So the students have come up with a solution. Every technology is a counter for another technologies. So another tool which is known as Killbot, that is a rephrasing tool these days. So students have extracted the data from ChatGPT, rephrased it from Killbot, and then submitted. Then Turnitin has modified itself to check that whether there is any AI content which is there or not. So that AI plagiarism is also evaluated in Turnitin. Now there comes another tool which is countering that as well, that is Humanize AI, Humanize IO. So if I will be rephrasing that content from Killbot and then giving it to Humanize IO, it will also again not be detected from any plagiarism software. So every technology is countering the drawbacks of another technology. So this is also a real challenge which, being an academician or being a researcher, we should work upon. So that is again a challenge as far as academics is concerned. We will not be able to catch that whether the student have attained those learning outcomes or not.
And this will be interesting because once the student gathers this, and let's say if he moves to another country, then I would also like to hear from Preeti and Ishita that what kind of a mindset the students carries with themselves once they are out, and they are out in in search of some maybe job or maybe higher education. But then what kind of an approach do they bring in to the UK here, so that what difference do they have based on their mindset, based on what we had, let's say about 2 decades ago? What is the change in that mindset that you see normally? This question is more for Preeti and Ishita.
I think that the point that I think Sneha mentioned is very correct. I think a lot of fresh grads now have that mindset of instant gratification, and I'm sure you might see that as well. They want, I guess, not all students obviously, but a lot of students are definitely seeking reward, because tools like ChatGPT, you're able to prompt it and get a really quick response back, which definitely does, eliminate the, I guess, hard work that was more present, say, 2 decades ago, of actually researching what you need to do for the job, or the research tasks, essentially. But I think that, again, because of this, they may have that mindset, but at the same time, students are getting a lot smarter. So if you are a smart student, then you would learn the art of prompting, for instance, because a standard student might ask, well, can you help me structure this essay? But someone that is really keen on writing a really well thought out essay, they would learn how to prompt the AI properly. So what are the different prompting techniques in order to structure a stellar essay in comparison to a mediocre essay, for instance? And I think Preeti can definitely talk more about on the art of prompting, for instance.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's not about just having a very superficial prompt, in order to make your essay or the report. There are the proper courses run by the Google as well as the Microsoft, where the prompt engineering itself is a course. So it all depends upon how as Ishita said, if the student is smarter, they know how to prompt it. I will give you an example. Yeah, for example, when I interview candidates in my company to recruit as an article writer, we tell them actually what are the keywords you need to use. Now you have to use the ChatGPT. It's not that you are not going to use the ChatGPT or Gemini, but you need to prompt it in such a way that there is a proper role. You have to first tell the ChatGPT that what you are going to do. For example, you are working as a marketer, or you are working as a content writer. That role need to be specified. Then the context need to be specified, like what subject you are writing it. You need to specify the tone, what tone of the language or what type of language you need to use it. Then you need to give the 0 prompt, the first prompt, the second prompt. You have to prompt, all the time. And then you need to tweak it. So what happens is, in real world, we are reducing the man hours to write any certain task. It can be anything. It's not just the article writer. It can be a student who is making a report. It can be a student who wanted to write a statement of purpose. What matters is how you are prompting. Do you have the specific skill set to prompt it? And it's not just that, your approach, your thought process, what type of keywords you need to include it, what type of the tone you want it in your report or in your article. Like, it can be a conversational tone, it can be a formal tone. Once the essay comes out, then you need to prompt it again, saying that, can you rate my work out of 10? Can you rate my English structure out of 10? And then GPT gives again and again and again the corrections. You need to correct those corrections. So prompt engineering, the way people think it, is way different than in real world how you use it. Literally, there are a couple of months of prompt engineering courses on Coursera or on the Google, free of cost, and I would strongly recommend to all the smart students, they must take that course so So their essay will be way different than what other people are writing. Bear in mind, the chat GPT is reducing your man hours to do certain tasks. Human intervention, it still be there. The student should critically think, analyze what is the outcome coming from the chat GPT, and then react on that output to make it fit for the purpose. Even in the UK, we work quite closely with the universities. The professors or the teachers, they are not saying that you should not use the chat GPT or a Gemini or whatever. They are directing or motivating the student to use it more ethically, more significantly, to analyze the outcome from the GPT. So I think that is what I would like to advise the student. Don't use the GPT just blankly, because you will definitely get caught into the plagiarism. So what is a plagiarism? Plagiarism, you can bypass it if your prompt engineering is extremely well organized, extremely sorted, and you know what you are prompting. So there is a say, garbage in, garbage out. So you need to bear in mind that the prompt engineering should not be considered as a very easy thing. You need to really learn well, and there are a lot of technical things also involved in the prompt engineering if you are a good coder. So go deep dive into the prompt engineering and make sure your reports, your essays are really outstanding, as compared to the other people, because you are making a good use of prompt engineering.
Yeah, and just to add to that quickly, I wanted to mention that there are amazing courses out on the internet, but at schooluniguide.com, we have also done a full-fledged webinar on the art of prompt engineering, where we basically guide you what role should you take on. Are you a teacher? So you can write in a teacher tone, you can write in a student tone, and we break down all the techniques used to prompt. So this might be really helpful for whether you're a student or even if you're a teacher, for a plethora of things. For instance, lesson planning, structuring your essays, wherever it may be. So if you go onto the School Uni Guide YouTube channel, you will find the link to that webinar. And I think Dr. Manish also mentioned a really important point, and it links with Sneha's comment about mindset, is that we should definitely teach students more about how to take accountability for their AI submitted work. So Dr. Manish, you made a really good point that when you use Turnitin, you're able to find out what is AI, for instance, AI generated text. But students are getting smarter because they're putting it into Humanize. Then on top of Humanize, you have more models. Well, now in the UK especially, there has been a shift. So we're teaching students to take accountability. And for instance, I was a business student at one of the top business schools here in the UK. And rather than allowing us to submit the AI work, we were taught to take accountability. And at the bottom of our essays, for instance, we were told to basically send in the chat we had with ChatGPT. So that way we are essentially promoting students to use these models, these large language models, Gemini, GPT, whatever it may be, but at the same time, embrace them and take accountability and show that, yes, this is how I used AI and this is how I leveraged it to make my essay better, rather than steering away from it. So that's something, in order to create this shift in mindset, we can definitely employ in the classroom.
One more thing, the upcoming students, if there are any programmers sitting here in the symposium or coders, they must understand there are a lot of beautiful tools now. For example, the Copilot, which they can use it to program, and the programming tasks are literally 70% down now. You are not spending much time in coding. What you need is a logic, like what to prompt to get the correct code. So that is it from my end. Thank you.
Considering the time constraint, I would like to ask one last question, I think. As this symposium has been organized by Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering Department, most of the students are also supposed to be from ENTC background. From the morning itself, we are only talking about the AI aspect of implementing it in various applications. But the students who are learning embedded systems, IoT, circuit theories, and all these things, how these students can be benefited by AI technique, because they are studying for 3 years these techniques, and suddenly they are asked to move from, they just have to leave these knowledge and switch to AI. So how they can implement? They should be augmenting the knowledge of AI with the subjects which they are teaching, studying. So how they can implement the knowledge of AI in ENTC, electronics and telecommunication?
Okay, integrating AI. So I'll come a little bit from different perspective. So nowadays what happening is, because everything is changing extremely fast, right? And it's like what I think in the morning also we discussed, right? Today you will learn one thing and then tomorrow something new will come. So I think rather than kind of what you learn, it matters like how you learn things. It's like, for example, if you take anything, even if you're from mechanical background or electronics background, if you're trying to master a particular topic, you kind of understand the core principles of learning, like how can you learn things faster. So I would say there are kind of 3 skills that one person should have. First is the learning ability. Learning things extremely fast. I think you all can see, like there is one YouTube video, how can you master a particular skill in 20 hours. Like traditionally they used to say that it takes 10,000 hours to master any skills, but you can just check out on YouTube, like how can you take only 20 hours to master a particular topic. So learning speed is very important. Second thing is the flexibility. So as I've said, things are changing so fast, so you need to adapt to the new things that is coming in. So second thing is flexibility, and third thing is empathy. In the world of AI, what is happening is kind of we are all thinking from our own point of view, and like even if I'm trying to create a resume, I'll just try to think from my perspective rather than what HR will think and what HR would want me to put. Like, so you need to have empathy, you need to be able to put yourself in other person's shoes and then think from that point of view. So I would say like these are the 3 skills that one person should have. And then last thing is not kind of skill, but you need to be aware about the delivery time, because you have so many tools, and specifically if you're trying to create a product or delivering an application, because you have so many tools to help you, the customer will expect the delivery extremely fast, right? So right now you can say you can just on one click you can create a complete website. So similarly for other applications as well, the customer will expect the delivery so fast, like within a day or 2. So you need to be aware about the time as well. So yeah.
Just to emphasize Sneha's point a bit more, I really like the thing you said about empathy. I think that's a really prevalent topic actually, because with AI, all these large language models that students are able to use.
Disconnected. You wanted to add something?
Okay, on the other hand, maybe till that gets connected, use of AI for automotives, the one thing that caught me was, has anybody seen the video on YouTube wherein the interview is taken by a car?
Hi, are you able to hear us?
Okay.
Yes.
Just let me complete this question, and then probably maybe Ishita you can continue. Till that time maybe you can just start the video. Okay.
So we are back actually. The meeting was ended after 60 minutes.
Okay, maybe Preeti, just give me a
We
second.
can take over that question. Ishita, you interrupted because the meeting was disconnected. So next time you guys need to make sure that the meetings are, going longer. They should not be disconnected.
Yeah, so sorry about that. Kind of technical issues are
Ishita, can you
a
just
thing.
give me a minute? Maybe I'll just complete my point, and then maybe we can continue.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So has anybody seen that process? The video is available on YouTube, wherein the resume selection is done via AI. There is no human intervention anywhere, and the final interview of the candidate is taken by the car. It's there on YouTube. It was done by Volvo, and you should see the interaction between how the car speaks to a human. So this is an absolute pinnacle what I would see using AI for interviews, because normally we are, for now at least, we are seeing interviewing candidates on Teams, wherein at least that's a face-to-face. But imagine you are sitting in front of a car and the car is prompting you questions. So this, maybe you can just watch that video wherein you can just see the applications of it.
Sounds amazing.
Maybe Ishita, you can continue.
Yeah, sure. So Sorry, I think before it cut off, we were talking about empathy. So Sneha mentioned the importance of empathy, and I just want to stem from that. I think in a world where AI is basically so valuable in all industries, in all career paths you want to take, I think building your interpersonal skills is, if not more important, because nowadays students are all able to basically come to the same level of how they turn up to their job. So they might have really well-crafted CVs due to help of different types of GPTs. However, I guess you can't fabricate your personality, right? So it's really important to build on your soft skills as well, because at the end of the day, when you faced with a job interview or a university application face-to-face interview, then this is how you will definitely shine. So as well as teaching students how to prompt well, as Preeti mentioned, taking different types of courses in order to enhance your prompting skills, it is equally important to make sure that the students in your classroom, in your university classes, are really building on their confidence, their empathy, their ability to tackle face-to-face questions as well, and not just relying on their devices, for instance. Because a lot of students, we see it all the time, especially here in the education space in the UK, a lot of students are extremely intelligent, you know, the highest caliber of students that we've had the pleasure of witnessing, but they don't have these soft skills, and that's why their application can be turned down. And, you know, it's really unfortunate to see, and I think this gap will definitely be widened when students are using AI and relying so heavily on AI.
So I think we should conclude now, because 1 hour is over now.
And maybe
So
we can just open
we
it
can open the
for questions from
yeah.
the floor, if anybody has.
Yes, please.
Not a question, but I would like to reflect on one point on which Sir said, you know, and absolutely right. You said that how electronics and telecommunication, you know, students, they are going to use AI ML. See, in the long run, you know, AI and ML will become a common tool for all streams. It will not will be a monopoly of, you know, computer science or, you know, only stream. Everyone will be required to use that. So if you see that, you know, today's top industries which are using AI and ML, you will see finance, fintech industries using widely now, automobile industries using, healthcare industry widely now, AI and ML tool. Now, how one good question came, you know, how our people, our students, they will learn it. There was a very basic question. So typically, you know, like the jobs which are available in the market, I mean, we have in our own organization, machine learning engineer is one of the highly paid job, I will say. Then the second one is data scientist is there, and machine learning architect, AI ML architect. So these are the three types of jobs which are available in the market. Now, if you want to get into these roles, okay, what we need to do for that, of course, I mean, I'm assuming, you know, all are freshers or, you know, engineers. So they need to work on their, I'll just, because I have my roadmap ready with me. So first we need to build on our AI ML foundations. Then, of course, you know, what this AI ML foundation will cover is, as Sir said, you know, supervised versus unsupervised learning, regression, classification, clustering, neural network. So all these fundamental things. Then you need one strong programming language using which you can build your own models. And as you know, Python is widely used. Of course, you can use C++ and Java also. So within Python, you need to know some libraries, you know. So Sir said scikit-learn or pandas, numpy, you know. These are some of the libraries. So I think level 2, we need to learn Python and these libraries. Then level 3, of course, along with this, we need to learn, I think Ishita was saying, prompt engineering. Okay. So prompt engineering is something for anyone or everyone who want to use any model, actually, be it ChatGPT, Gemini or anything, how to give a prompt. So that is a common language, I think, we all need to learn. And then we need to learn how to build agents, how we can, you know, write our own agents using the libraries used. And of course, Python is another, you know, strong language used over there. So of course, you'll get a lot of material around that, how to build your agent. So, for example, I want to write an agent which will evaluate, let's say, assignments submitted by students. That is my objective. If I want to do that, then what kind of assignments are submitted? Then what is the past data? I will get that data, and I will collect that data, and I will train my model. Then I will observe my all future assignments coming into that model, and what is the evaluation done automatically by the system. So I just give a simple example. So I think this is what we can have for our students. Yeah.
Even for ENTC, the students can work on intelligent control, process control, where the augmentation of AI can be there in industries automation.
Absolutely.
So that is one skill which students can get in more companies.
Absolutely. And I see recent trend, people don't want to go for ready-made products which are available in the market. Every company want to build their own model, which will be their in-house model. And also, for example, if there is some XYZ automobile company, they want to have one model which can be used within their organization, and some other model which will get data from the outside, other competitors' vehicles data and all actually. So they can, keep these two separate models, and their researchers who are, working on that particular field, they can query differently to these two models and, come to some conclusion.
Yeah, I can just give you an example on the same lines, like the charging, for example, which we have for EVs. So all other OEMs have their own optimization of charging. But then the common charging point which you have, normally the industry is now focused on giving the same charging point overall, so that anybody can use the charging point irrespective of which vehicle manufacturer it is. Earlier it was just that Tesla you used to see on the US highways or near the gas stations, you had just the Tesla chargers, and all other chargers or all other vehicles were just left on that same line because the charging socket was not harmonized. But now with the same legal requirements, that is also being fed, so that you can optimize your battery charging, but the output, or maybe you can say the thing that goes in, that should be commonized or standard. That is something where the OEMs are working.
Yes, thank you. And one more point. Sir has rightly said, there is always going to be a fight between, I'm an academically very good person. I know the logic, how it works. I can write the entire code. Okay, and I need to study every algorithm. Okay, that's my academic expectation. But what industry expect is that if there are 10 engineers appointed on one project, some smart chap, he will quickly copy paste the code and his code will run. And when they see that, okay, there are 2-3 scholarly people, they are always studying and what is happening behind the code, by that time the project is successfully completed and closed, correct? So it's always going to be a fight between, what we want. So I think we need to have this smartness to understand, to know that, okay, how these algorithms work behind the scene, what is happening in the background, and also what is the need of an hour, where I need to stop, where I can use I need to ethically and logically decide where I can use the copy pasted or, chatbot code, and where I need to really get into something and study something, and then I should deliver the things. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
It also depends on the industry actually. If you are working in a Tesla, the Tesla has the capacity to develop their own models and tweak it. But if we look at the academic industry, the industry itself is having quite a lot limitations in terms of finances. So it all depends upon whether you want to really deploy your own model, or are you going to use the platforms like n8n. I'm not sure if you guys know about n8n, but n8n is the platform where common layman can lay down their workflow automation. They can reduce the cost, so you don't need to deploy your own models. There are a lot of online platforms which you can use it very efficiently in a very, very little cost, because that's what we do in Pi Academy as well as in School Uniguide. And I was literally surprised, the people who has built such a beautiful tech, the small scale industries like us, or even the schools or the Wadia college, they can automate literally any workflow with the help of these things. But there was also one more point which we forgot, to capture here. The point was, there is a huge industry gap. There is a huge gap between academia and industry, because we try to recruit a lot of machine learning engineer. It's a really, really nightmare to get the best machine learning engineer. As somebody said, I didn't know the name, but the Python is the basic language which you must master, and you need to very well connected with the industry trends, because AI is changing heavily. Whatever the take is there for about 2 months ago, now that is replaced by the more firing models. So you need to be really well connected. Like, what are the trends going in the industry? You need to update your knowledge, especially the youngsters who are recently graduating, even though they are not computer science engineers and they are the normal other disciplines graduates. They can still work into the machine learning, because that's going to be a very, very demanding field, especially in the countries like UK and USA, where the manpower itself is less. So it's a very good opportunity for the new grads who are sitting in this symposium to upskill themselves, and you need to always look what industry wants. You can, of course, you can connect us as well. We are having a lot of programs going on to upskill the students, and we can talk more about it. So just take this a very good step ahead in your career to get updated yourself with the ongoing trends in any industry. It doesn't matter academia, it doesn't matter automobile, healthcare, anything. AI is going to be game changing. Thanks a lot.
So thank you so much, Preeti and Ishita, for joining in online from UK. Thank you so much. And this indeed a thought-provoking session that we had just now, to how to bridge the gap between the academia and the industry, and what kind of steps students these days need to take to build them to the state of the art for the industry. So now I would like to request our next guest, not guest, sir, please be seated. Sorry. He's not a guest actually, he's our family member of MES Modern Education Society, Dr. Ganeshan sir. He is a seasoned senior management professional and chief financial officer at Modern Education Society, bringing a wealth of experience in the education sector and beyond. With an extensive background in finance, strategic management, business re-engineering, and innovation, he has played a pivotal role in shaping institutions and driving organizational growth. As a CFO of Wadia Group's Modern Education Society in Pune and Mumbai, Ganeshan sir oversees financial strategy and institutional development. Beyond academia, sir has been a key promoter at TCS for accounting software, and he has held influential roles in corporate training, business consulting, HR, and more. He is deeply passionate about mentoring professionals, fostering innovation, and driving impactful change. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Ganeshan sir to share his views on this topic. No.
Hours. सिनर्जी फोल्डर था ना मेरा, उसके अंदर पीपीटी सिनर्जी करके पीपीटी उसके अंदर डेस्कटॉप पे कॉपी किया था उसको। इसमें पीपीटी है, सिनर्जी टाइप करो। Okay, whenever they call me, they first declare the conference is over. Then I am the unofficial speaker for the event. Nevertheless, it's been a pleasure being here since morning, listening to all of you. I had to go out for some time because there was another program. And I'm not an expert on AI, and I'm not an engineer, but I'm more of a humanitarian. So I'm going to just leave you with a few thoughts in the available time. And that's why I put the clock as the first slide of mine. Yeah. When was the last time you all attended a conference which said the impact of natural intelligence on learning? Yeah? Never. Do you recollect having attended any seminar on the impact of how we can use natural intelligence, which is given to us by God in abundance, to improve our learning? Never. And here it is. What's happening here? So, yes, I found it very interesting that we live in an era where we use artificial lemon flavor in juices and we use natural lemons in finger bowls. So, and so somebody came up with artificial intelligence and presto, we are spending one day, 50 people in a room, discussing about the terror it is going to cause to life. Is it going to work now? Thank you. Yeah, I used the third one. Yeah, okay. So, you know what's an oxymoron, right? An oxymoron is a paradox. Two words, like a small crowd, deafening silence. That is called oxymoron. I think this is also an oxymoron. Artificial intelligence. Yeah. So, I have a radical view towards it. If it is art, cannot be intelligence. I don't know why somebody sitting somewhere, he created dramatization by introducing this, coining this word, artificial intelligence, and the world is all discussing about it. Probably this hyper automation, from what I have been listening all day long. It is maybe hyper automation at the best. Maybe we can call it, okay, fuzzy logic automation at the best. But to be preposterous and call it as intelligence is an insult to intelligence. So when I looked at the context of this symposium, sorry, I still don't know the difference. Symposium, seminar, conferences, they are all the same, okay? In the morning I was speaking to my friend, I said, the impact of AI on learning, really we should have looked at it from the impact of learning on AI. And I'll tell you why. Human beings can learn, machines can be trained. Animals can be trained. And some Maharishi sitting somewhere, he introduced concepts like deep learning. Is it learning? Machine learning. The machine cannot learn on its own. Come on, let me take a radical view this side. Yeah, it can be trained. You are only training, and then you are saying that we are, in all this thing we are training the data. We are not learning the data. We are training the data. So look how the words are played upon us. And if you are looking at hyper automation, good enough. Yes, what one man can do, two men can do better, and what two men can do, automation can do even more better. From the time we were Australopithecus to Zinjanthropus to Homo erectus, Homo sapiens, Neanderthals, yeah, what has happened is that this beautiful thing which has been given to us has evolved. The cortex and the neocortex has grown, and today we have come to a level where now we are ripe to use this to its maximum, and now we are taking all steps to destroy this by adding artificial intelligence to our tool of destruction. Sorry. Beautiful. Tell me, intelligence is a byproduct of 5 senses. In the morning, one of the speakers spoke about computer vision. Yes, good enough. Then somebody spoke about hearing. How can you, what about the others? Can a machine ever taste anything? I'm asking you all, you're engineers, I'm not the one. Can machine taste? Can machine get diabetes? Eating too much of sugar. Yeah. Can machine smell? Sir, I'm asking you, can it be done?
Not currently. Not as of now.
All right, you're an optimist. Yeah. So out of these 5 primary input sources which help the brain to start behaving the way the brain behaves, which is what we are. At best, we have now attempted to, at the vision level and probably at the hearing level, we are working on something. I think you are working on that computer vision, right? And if you see here, when a child is born, I think these are synaptic connections. Your brain has got billions and billions of neurons, and these neurons real in electromagnetic fields. when energy passes through, these neurons, they talk to each other. And then synaptic connections are established, which is what, like, the data source we have. By the time you're 6 years old, this synaptic connection becomes very strong, and the child is very curious. He wants to know everything. He or she wants to know everything. And later on, as an adult, because we are in auto mode, the synaptic connections start dying. And there's redundancy in the brain. So even if 1 lakh brain cells die every day, you can comfortably live for 80, 90 years and live with a very working, functional brain. People say, oh, that means that we are using only 5 or 10% of the brain. No, God has built redundance of abundance into the brain so that even if something dies, you still can live a normal life. Why I'm saying this, I'm making a point here. I am saying this because this requires you to do things yourselves. Synaptic connections requires you to live. And collective consciousness, all of us sitting together, all our brains working together also is collective consciousness, which is at a metaphysical level. There is a theory called morphogenetics, where they say that in an island, they took a bunch of monkeys and they taught them to perform some tricks. And in another island far away, after some days, the other monkeys performed exactly the same tricks with no connection in between the two. So that's probably collective consciousness for you and me. So the human brain, we have to keep thinking, analyzing what, when, where, how, why, which. We have to keep asking questions 60,000 times a day. We have to start putting things in structures, everything that we experience through our taste and sight and everything. We have to socially interact with people, get our thoughts running. We have to think crazy. I'll ask you this question. If there are 60 cups and 1 breaks, how many remain? 5? Thank you. Large language modeling, LLM. And 1 breaks, how many remain? 5 cups remain, right? Maybe 6 plus 1 broken cup. Yeah. I did. The broken cup is also a cup, isn't it? Those are 6 cups, 60 cups, 1 breaks. So one answer is 5. One is 6. 5 plus 1 broken club. Or there could be 59. I said 60 cups. Yeah, there she's saying 60 cups. I can see that expression. Lovely. Yeah. Now they're explaining. Now that's what I call a social thinking. We are collectively. So the point I'm trying to make this, guys, is okay, this makes the brain fuzzy also once in a while. Yeah. You have this and then all kind of Gyan Chakshus also open up. So human beings by default, we are born and we die. And in between we eat food and we reproduce. That is a given. Everything else is a meaning we have to give to our life, my dear friends. Because that's the only thing. Your birth and your death is guaranteed. You eat and you reproduce is guaranteed. But within that time, what do? You need to get up, you brush your teeth and have your tea and go to work. Yeah, do some work. Go to the evening, relax, eat dinner with your family members, go to sleep again. This cycle. Now I am trying to put a point here. And while doing this, somebody is more intelligent. Somebody asked, whether in the morning session that whether it will make somebody rich and somebody poor. Yes, that is human beings. We are all not programmed to be living uniformly. That's not how we are. So while engaging in our day-to-day life, some people will definitely accomplish more in terms of monetary benefits. Maybe the rest of the world will be like this. They also ran in a crowd. Some will be super intelligent. We are all working towards a particular meaning that we are searching for ourselves for life, and that keeps us very happy. Now imagine I remember when I was in China a couple of years ago, in some of the shops, they have ladies standing outside the shop. And when you go in, there's a lady who says, welcome, and she opens the door for you and takes you inside. Now the same job can also be done through a door sensor. Yeah, you walk in, a door opens. But what will happen to that girl because of that sensor? What happens to her? What happens? I mean, she doesn't have a job now. So between brushing her teeth and going to sleep, what is she going to do? I'm leaving you with some thoughts. these discussions and these kind of forums have happened when the wheel was invented also. People said, yeah, now the wheel is invented and now man is going to find some nirvana and we are going to be very happy souls. Industrial revolution came, people said, oh, now we are going to be very happy. Then the internet revolution came, the digital revolution came, and we said we are going to be happy. And now Industry 4.0, somebody in the morning mentioned also, we said now we are going to again come to a level where, but still, we are here. So the way I looked at this whole thing since morning is that, okay, you are trying to automate everything to a level where the machine starts automating itself. That's what finally you are saying. By self-learning, the machine is automating itself. It's completing incomplete sentences, and it is developing a logic of its own to work. Good enough, and you are giving this in the hands of everyone. Now I'm just hypothesizing into the future that if we say that tomorrow agriculture is going to be done like this, what will happen to that farmer? You can do this, there's no problems, yeah? Artificial intelligence can do this, or you can even decide what apple to pluck and what apple not to pluck. But what will happen to that farmer? Sanket's factory, yeah? If the entire cars are going to be made by a bunch of machines like this, what is going to happen to those workers, to those people, the workmen who are going to work in these factories? What are they going to do by the time they brush their teeth and go to bed? I'm imagining a lot into the future, not today. In immediate basis, we can see what's going to happen to, as it is, we see Swiggy and Zomato boys on the road. If drones start docking into space stations and starts delivering GPS-enabled goods directly to us, what's going to happen to those boys? I want to make a point here. I think in the earlier session, one question was asked that if, how do I assess the students? Teachers, you have a great responsibility. They say on the day of judgment, there's going to be a separate line for teachers. Yeah, fast track, green channel. You are not, at best, what are you trying to do? Okay, I'll ask you a question. You can count the seeds in the apple, but can you count the apple in the seeds? Can your AI do it? I'll give you a seed, tell me how many apples are going to come out of this. You are all like this. You are playing with the potential of human beings, and just because some crap essay the boy has written and you are assessing it and telling him that you are graded into 3rd, 4th or 5th grade or whatever you use for, and somebody again used the word of Bloom's taxonomy in the morning, fascinating. You are actually evaluating the person's potential. So मैं हमेशा ये बात बोलता हूँ कि बंद घड़ी भी दिन में 2 बार सही वक्त दिखाती है, and who are we here? So that's why I said this program should have been called Let's Introspect on Natural Intelligence rather than Artificial Intelligence. So communication, now we have soulmates also, virtual dates, yeah, feel lonely, digital girlfriends are coming up now. A car, what are you going to do sitting in the car if the car drives itself? What is the police department going to do? What is that RTO going to do? What is that driving school going to do? Are we killing ourselves as humanity and all of us in the morning will brush teeth, have nothing to do and then go to sleep in the evening? Unproductively, it's not about money. Then if everything is going to be automated, my question is, are we stretching it to a level of madness? Yeah. So, yes, then we have this banking. Interestingly, you know who this gentleman is? Come on. Sorry?
I'm not sure, but
Yeah. Please give his name. You are not recalling. Whole day morning you kept talking about. Sorry? Name. Miyazaki. Please give this young boy a good round of applause. Yeah, he's Miyazaki. I want to test your, that's natural intelligence, by the way, yeah? Yeah, that he's the guy Miyazaki, yeah, who, the Ghibli studio we are all using in the morning. And we don't recognize him when we facial recognition. We don't recognize him, but he is recognizing us. Yeah, and he's capturing you. And every time you make an image, your entire life is now on the public domain. Thank you. So the synaptic connections, which I spoke earlier also, you must have seen this. There's a company called Quantum AI, which has created all kinds of deepfake videos. Even Narayan Murthy talks to you, and Sudha Murthy talks to you, Narendra Modi also talks to you. Everybody says, you just give me 21,000 rupees, boss, roज का 17 लाख रुपया तुमको दे दूंगा मैं. One man also made a similar promise few years ago, 15 lakh रुपया दूंगा. Sorry, strike it out. Yeah, but that was a different promise. Here he says that using quantum AI, you just give me 21,000 rupees, my AI-enabled system will keep on identifying which stocks are going up, going down, cryptocurrency will invest. You don't have to work one day, boss. Every evening, Kulkarni साहब 17 लाख रुपया तुम्हारे account में गिर जाएगा. Now, isn't it absurd? Because if everybody, hypothetically, everybody uses this, then who is going to sell? See, the market requires buyers and sellers, no? In a rational market, if everybody has access to this kind of a data, the market will stay where it is because there will be an equilibrium. There will be a status quo. No? It will neither go up nor go down. Yeah. So I'm just giving you random thoughts. You did a mistake calling me to speak. Okay. Sorry, I'm just joking. So in conclusion, my dear friends, I just want to leave you with a thought like this. Each one of us as influencers, thought leaders, teachers, entrepreneurs, business people, we need to ask ourselves, I have been a great advocate that everything in our life we need to introduce is selective. What is good for us, introduce. What is not good for us, have the courage to say no. Like not calling this artificial intelligence also. So this simple formula that what can we create de novo in the space of in whichever domain we are. What can be created which was earlier not there. What can be eliminate totally. What can be used but with reduced impact. What can be increase the proportion of what we are using. So this thought I am leaving you with, like in money, in banking for that matter, from currency, from bank we moved to ATM, from ATMs we made to online banking, from online banking now we're going to digital banking, and now it's almost barter exchange. So that's what our Adam and Eve started with. And now you just imagine that if there is no currency to measure, how will tax? Somebody spoke about artificial intelligence controlling, the income tax notice somebody spoke about. I think Sharad was asked that question. Yeah. So if I barter with you, how will anybody come to know? There's no base to measure it only. So time will come where what we need to do, what we don't need to do, we have to deeply introspect on all these things. Thank you. This is the last slide for you, just because the conference is over now. If the height of absurdity will be, in future, babies will be made like this. Yeah. Thank you. That's okay. I post management thoughts every day, so there's a QR code for you. In case you want to scan it, you can subscribe to this channel, and you'll get some snippets every day morning about life and craziness. Thank you. Over to you, Dr. Bagu.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you're already there. Okay.
Yes, indeed, it was a thought-provoking session. With this, actually, I remember one incident happened with me. Not actually happened. On the fun part, it was a artificial intelligence paper for computer engineering students, and I happened to be a supervisor for that block. So initially only I told all the students that use your natural intelligence to write your artificial intelligence paper. So I remember that incident. So thank you so much, sir. As you all have experienced different aspect of use of natural intelligence for the artificial intelligence. Just now we have experienced with the Dr. Ganeshan sir. Thank you so much, sir. Now I will announce, I will request Dr. MP Dale ma'am to felicitate Dr. Ganeshan sir.
if this picture is put, nobody will know whether I am giving or she. Because they are both the same thing.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, sir. So there will be now a tea break for 10 minutes. The tea is arranged here in the hall itself, and we'll gather back right after 10 minutes. Thank you. I request panel discussion, we do have esteemed guest with us today. It is my honor to welcome Dr. P.B. Mane sir for sharing his valuable concluding remarks after the discussion. It is an honor to introduce Dr. P.B. Mane sir, a distinguished academician and currently working as a principal of AISSMS Institution of Information Technology, Pune. With over 20 years of experience in teaching, research, and academic leadership, Dr. Mane has made significant contributions to the field of communication systems, embedded systems, and signal processing. He holds a PhD in ENTC engineering, and under his leadership, the institute has seen remarkable growth in both academic and research initiatives. A dedicated mentor, Dr. Mane sir has guided several students at the undergraduate and postgraduate levels, encouraging innovation and hands-on learning. Dr. Mane sir is also actively involved in curriculum development and academic planning, consistently working to enhance the quality of technical education. His passion for teaching and commitment to excellence make him a true inspiration to both students as well as faculty. I request Dr. M.P. Dale Madam, Principal, Wadia College of Engineering, to felicitate Dr. P.B. Mane sir with the token of appreciation. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Now I would like to request Dr. P.B. Mane sir to share his concluding remarks.
Thank you, madam. Good evening to one and all present for this wonderful symposium on the impact of, should I say, artificial intelligence, or should I say natural learning or natural intelligence on learning and industry jobs. So first of all, I would like to thank the management and the principal for giving me this opportunity to be one of the observers for this afternoon session. The discussions were really insightful, and I would say that surely the discussions will further lead to the entire roles of what industry is going to do and what the expectations they have from the students community or from the institutes or colleges as a whole. So we have been talking about bridging the industry gap since very long. It's not that this topic is a new topic, but it has been talked since long, and today we are talking in terms of, or rather in context of, the artificial intelligence, or what impact artificial intelligence is going to have on the job market as a whole, and what the industry expects from the students. So some of the observations which I made from the first session, and also the talk which actually changed the entire perspective, was from Dr. Ganeshan. So I'll also come to that point. So the things which I observed from the discussion, I'll just will go specifically with the speakers who made comments, and probably what I feel as an academician for the last 30 years, and my role maybe in seeing to it how we as teachers are giving our best to see to it that the students are being made employable. And today also we are in the same role, and probably the inputs which you as an industry has given to us, maybe we'll also see to it that how we can rather take those inputs and further enhance the skills ability of our students when we talk specifically about AI. So Dr. Manish Sharma, he's basically from the academics, and he's also heading the innovation and incubation cell. So the very first thing I would like to make a statement from here, taking into his perspective, because he is giving the students an aspect as to how they should become entrepreneurs. And one important thing which I feel personally, or rather when I discuss with our students also, I always keep on telling them is that if you really want to be getting a job, the one thing what you should do is that you should think from the point of view that you are an entrepreneur. I'll come to the point which the speakers, Ishita and others, or I think Sneha also talked about empathy. And empathy is very important, because unless and until we go into the shoes of the other person, we do not realize what he or she requires from us. And it is very important that when we talk in terms that if I have the ability of thinking as an entrepreneur, really I'll be the best person to get an employment. And why is it so? Because when I step into the shoes of an entrepreneur, I start thinking in that way. And then when I start thinking as an entrepreneur, it becomes a natural thing that you develop yourself. You understand what is the requirement of the person who is going to give me an employment. The first question comes to his mind is why that person should employ me, and at what cost. Because today what we have been talking is that there is a huge gap. And in spite of that huge gap, the honorable speakers also mentioned that the expectation of the students is too high. They want packages of very high amounts, which nobody will give, because when we do employ somebody at our home, maybe a servant, we also see that what caliber does he has, and then we opt him or we give him that much credits. So the important takeaway for the students also who are sitting over here is that the panel talked about this skill development, which I specifically want to say that both Sanket and Sneha also emphasized on that the students should develop the skills. And today when we are talking about AI, we have seen that many things have been talked of AI, because we are saying that today AI can do anything. And the important thing is that how the students are going to make the best use of AI in making them more employable. Because I'm not saying that AI will take the employments from them, but it is going to give them the best opportunities. I'm saying I'm making use of the word best, and I'm making the use of the highest packages which the students are aspiring for. And it will be becoming possible only when the students do analyze themselves that where they stand today. And from that aspect, we should really look into is this. Then the other points which were talked mainly were the unwanted use of AI. Somebody said that don't try to solve a problem which doesn't exist. It's very true, because it is useless, because many a times also it's not only at the undergraduate level or postgraduate levels, even at the PhD level we see that today every problem statement, if you see it, it has deep learning or AI without any use. So the care should be taken that is it really required, because the careful use of AI is surely going to give you really some outcome which is being expected. So this needs to be taken care of, because, and one more thing, what I feel is that today when the industry is looking at the students, they are expecting that the students are expert in AI. No, they are not, because you have to teach them. And what has happened is that, to be very frank, this AI and data science came as a course just 5 years back. I'll just cite you an example. Last year, our first batch came out because we were the first to start with the AI and data science, because when AICT thought that the emerging trend branches should come and they floated with the AI, data science, AI, ML, robotics, automation, we were the first, and the last year's batch came. I just want to cite an example. What happened is the campus placement started. And as usual, the criteria were computer, IT, ENTC. There was no AI data science. Then I personally had to discuss with the HRs that, boss, now AI data science का भी बैच आया है. अब तक आप कोई सीनियर जो बंदा था, जो कंप्यूटर जानता था, उसने कुछ AI कोर्सेज किए थे, आप उसको हेवी सैलरी दे के आज आप उसको रिक्रूट कर रहे. सो प्लीज लुक इनटू दिस एस्पेक्ट कि अभी AI डेटा साइंस की भी ब्रांच है जहाँ पे बच्चे लोगों ने काफी कुछ पढ़ाई की है, एंड दे आर नोइंग many things. And the scene this year has changed, or rather, I'll tell you from my aspect, or even for that matter, even the other colleges where they had the AI data science or AI LML, at the end of the year, the placement of the students was similar to the computer students. So when we talk in terms of the placements, so today we are in the era where the students are well versed with all these things. And when we are talking about the industry academia gap, at least in the new education policy which all the institutes have started implementing, where a very important component of the internship has come into picture. And according to that, I feel that there won't be any gap in the coming years, because the students will know what is the expectation from the industry. Because when a student visits any industry for a period of at least 3.5 months or 6 months, he is going to understand what is the requirement. And I'm sure that there won't be any gap as such in the coming years, which we have been talking. And when, as I am saying that, when we are specifically talking about AI also, AI is not restricted only to the computer, IT or AI data science and AI ML, but the other branches are equally making use or seeing to it that the subjects related to their or case studies related to AI are being put in them. As what Mr. Sanket said about automobile, or when we are talking about the robotics and automation, the AI part is coming. Even for the instrumentation branch, which probably it is in very less colleges, even they are talking about, when they talk about the industry 4.0 or 5.0, they have included in their syllabus the AI and the data science, because without that, your industry 4.0 or 5.0 is not going to work. So even those students, or for that matter, when we talk in terms of the electrical branch, over there also you require the systems which have AI into them, because when we talk about the latest trends or the smart grids, or when we are talking about the data being pulled, even the electrical engineers are knowing about AI today. And in the similar manner, when we talk about the mechanical engineers also, even when we are going in for the design aspects, where we require a lot of data to be handled, because somebody was talking about AI in ENTC. Already AI into ENTC has already come, because there are many things when we talk about VLSI, or for that matter image processing, or where we require where the data is too huge and we require processing, there AI has already started coming, and the students are well versed of making use of the AI tools or the AI algorithms. So I feel that the use has already started, and in the coming future, I feel that the impact won't be that much, and I'm sure that the industry may say, yes, we are really getting students who are of equal caliber as what we want, because the trends are changing. And when I just want to mention, because in the morning session, a lot was discussed about the use of AI into education. Yes, as academicians, we know that we are using AI in almost all the things now, because we talked about the ERP systems which we have, where we have the evaluation systems, and even we talked about the students making use of ChatGPT. Then we talked about And with this, I think that the discussions were really fruitful and insightful. And I request the organizers that please minute these things, and wherever possible, you can just put it up to the policymakers where certain things can be implemented. So with this, thanks for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you very much, sir. Really, we are very, very thankful to you for sparing your precious time despite your busy schedule. So, after listening to so many perception of AI, I have come to certain conclusion that AI will not replace humans, but humans with AI will replace those without it. So we need to we need to have some AI for our assistance. Okay, so let's go ahead. As a part of our commitment to fostering innovation and critical thinking among students, we recently conducted student competition under the umbrella of Synergy 2025 on Saturday, 29th March, as mentioned by one of our coordinator, Yogita Asgar ma'am. This initiative aimed to ignite curiosity and stimulate discussions on crucial AI-related topics. The competition revolved around compelling things like leadership in AI, AI as artificial intelligence versus artificial idiot, the impact of AI on student thought processes. We were thrilled by the overwhelming response that we received from 26 outstanding colleges. We received 26 outstanding entries from different colleges, as mentioned by ma'am early in the morning itself. Okay, so it was evaluated by a panel of 4 distinguished faculties, and they witnessed some truly thought-provoking insights. So we would like to go through the presentations now. I would like to call upon Dhanashri Kathare, Symbiosis Skills and Professional University, to give her presentation. The topic of her presentation was AI as an artificial intelligence or artificial idiot.
Okay, so hello everyone. Can you hear me? Today was a long day basically. As it was a long day, maybe some of you might have got bored. So I would ask that this is by the students. So hearing the perspectives of the students, so you can just give some of your valuable attention so that I could get it. Okay, so let me introduce myself. My name is Dhanashri Kathare, and I am a first-year BTech student at Symbiosis Skills and Professional University. And I would like to give a presentation on AI as artificial intelligence or artificial idiots. Now imagine a person who is a mathematical genius who can write beautiful poetry and can paint breathtaking images. What do we think of such a person? Most probably an AI, right? AI can do all of these things. But imagine such a person who can do all of these various things if this person falls down and they cannot get up. Or they cannot open a car door and get inside. This is something what humans can do very instinctively, naturally, right? But this is something which AI cannot do. So the genius who can't stand. Now I'm making a point that AI right now cannot stand. Like if suppose an AI or a robot falls down, then they cannot stand. Why? Because there are n number of ways in which a person can fall down. And once a person falls down, the center of balance, the center of gravity changes, and there are very complex calculations of physics, torque, and balance involved, which AI right now cannot handle. So that's the one thing, one of the basic things which humans and animals can do and AI cannot do. Then the next thing, this is like when AI falls down literally and they cannot stand up. Now, AI or robots as such, there has been no robot invented as such which can open a car door, get inside and sit, because again that involves grasping the car door handle, then opening it, shifting your body balance, and then getting inside the car. So this is something which AI has not been able to do right now. Again, it involves the complex calculations of physics which AI has not mastered. Now, AI can master chess. It can beat various chess persons, grandmasters as such. But cannot do such basic physical things, something which humans and animals are inherently capable of. Now, I would like to give some of my personal examples with AI to prove how AI is not matured as of yet, and there is still a long time for us to reach to a AI maturity stage. So these are some of the very personal examples which I have faced in the recent months. So the first one is about a movie, Lost in AI's Hallucination, the movie that never was. AI Films Database, a work of pure imagination. Now, there was a movie which I had watched in my childhood. It was about grandparents and robots. It's about how a family brings robots instead of grandparents for the children, basically. So this was a movie which is very relevant in today's world of AI, and I was not able to recall the name of that movie as such, but I wanted the name of that movie so that I can tell it to my friends or recommend it in class or whatsoever. But I was not. The problem was I was not able to recall the name of the movie. So as like any tech-savvy person, I turned to ChatGPT to search for the movie, and I wrote some prompts for the movie, to search, and I wrote, as you can see, one paragraph. I wrote one paragraph of prompt and asked it to recommend, to tell me what kind of movie it is. Now, obviously, based on as it is trained on a vast set of data sets, you might expect that the AI can tell you that movie. But that is not the case, because it always relies on what kind of data it has been fed into. Now, I was trying to guess the name of that movie with the help of ChatGPT for about 1.5 hours, but the result was that the first time I searched it, it gave me the name of a film. As you can see, it gave me the name of a film, Paheli, which was totally not relevant to the movie which I was searching for when I checked the Wikipedia article of it. The second time, I again refined my prompt and gave it to ChatGPT. That time it gave me the name of a film which did not exist. Now this is something which we call as AI hallucination. That is when AI makes up, it just fabricates some of the movie names or anything as such. If it is not able to answer something, it will just fabricate anything and give it to you. So that was, again, I tried 3 times, and in the third attempt, what I did was that I changed my ChatGPT account so that maybe a fresh start would help, but none of these helped me, ideally speaking. Then what I did was, during one of my casual conversations with my sister, she will also be presenting after me, I mentioned this, that I'm not able to find this particular movie. We had seen it in the childhood, but I'm not able to recall its name. She put one single line into Google, just the 4 words, Marathi film, grandparents, robots. And the result popped up. The name of the movie was Bandhan I Launch. So now the thing is that Google was able to do it, and my sister was able to search it with Google in under 5 seconds, and this was something which AI was not able to do. The question remains that who is the bigger idiot? Is it me, who is not using Google for a simple thing like this and using ChatGPT for various, for 1 hour or about so? So that's the question which was there. Now that was the first example about AI hallucination. The second example which I want to give is about math. Now, we consider that AI is good at math. It must be good at math, obviously, because it is, again, a kind of computer, as computers are, again, associated with mathematical genius. So AI is also associated with this. Now, this is a very, very recent example just of last week. We had a unit test exams for the first year wherein we had applied mathematics. Now, as we know, mostly we all engineers, as we are engineering students, we don't study before, before the exam. We just study the night before the exam. And I was doing exactly that. So while doing that, the problem was that we were supposed to, the syllabus was about Fourier series. Now, that was the first time I was solving the sum of Fourier series. We had been given some question bank where various types of questions which can be asked were given. as it was the first time I was solving this sum, I obviously didn't have much confidence that am I solving it in the correct way. Now, instead of going checking the notes of my friends or whatever, I just put that question to ChatGPT and checked I wanted to check whether my answer is right or wrong. So I solved my answer. Then, in order to check, I fed it to ChatGPT and got the answer. The result was, the whole answer was completely okay. Just one thing was missing, that was the negative sign. Now, in my answer, I got a negative sign, but the ChatGPT did not give me a negative sign. Now, what happens is a very simple thing such as a negative sign. I can lose my 5 marks because of that, right? So, I wanted to check where am I going wrong. I asked ChatGPT to solve it again, and I also solved it again. The result was ChatGPT again gave me the same answer. I also again got the same answer which I was getting. Then, now I was confident with my math skills. As I solved it 2 times, it is clear that my answer is right and AI is definitely gone wrong. So I told ChatGPT that you are wrong, please check out the answer or solve it again because I am right. Now, if you guys have used ChatGPT, it is very clear that once we ask ChatGPT that I am right and you are wrong, it clearly accepts it that sorry, I'm wrong, you are in the right way, and this is how you are right. That is something which ChatGPT had been doing until now. But there is a new trend which I had seen in the last week, that it said that let us go through the derivation once more. It went through the derivation once more. It again gave me the same answer, that is without the minus sign. Then what I had to do was that I searched Google for 10 to 15 minutes, got a textbook solution for that same particular problem, and then sent it to ChatGPT. Then ChatGPT, it accepted that I am wrong and you are right. So that is the kind of stage we are reaching right now, that AI is not able to accept, like it is getting trained on such data set, and it is not getting accepted that when the AI has done its mistake. This is something which should not have happened. AI should have got its mistake in the first chance itself, but that's what something is happening. That was the second example, which was with Max. That is where I tried to highlight the point that AI is going to such a stage that it is becoming more confident with its own abilities and how it's wrong with its math skills, and I'm more right than that. That's what I wanted to prove. Okay, then this is a web page. Now let me tell you about the situation. Just 3 days back, we had a competition in our college. It was a no-code competition, where basically it was a hackathon. We could use any no-code platform tools or any AI tools as such, and we had to develop a solution for a problem statement. We can choose any problem statement out of 50 plus problems. Now the problem was that we had to make that whole application in under 3 hours. So we decided to problem statement, which was AI-based resume analyzer and interview preparation type thing, which was again mentioned by some of the panelists as well, that some people are already working in the industry on this. The thing was that we directly started using the no-code platform, the AI tools. The result was for up to 1.5 hours, we didn't do anything. Like we couldn't get any concrete results as such. Why? Because the AI was just making things very complex. You have to use Python, you have to use this, that, and basically it was something which was not possible to be done in 2 days at least. Like we couldn't have done it in 2 days at least. Then what we did was that we simplified the task. We focused on what are the things which we know. We know HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So we focused on those things, and using these 3 things, we designed a workflow first of all. And into that workflow, we started going step by step and very simply, not according to the AI's logic. We went by our own logic, that is by natural intelligence, and we used AI to generate some of the codes. As you can see, some of the front end or something, that is something we used AI for, but the whole application was built in VS Code by us using the workflow which we had designed. Now the thing which I wanted to highlight again over here, this is the next thing, that is interview simulator. It was a big platform, but I'm just showing 2 of the things which we had done over here. The point I'm trying to make is that if we don't use our own natural intelligence, then AI is just going to distort us, it is going to misguide us. But if we use our own natural intelligence and think according to a simple path, then we can go for a very simple thing. Okay, now as from the morning, everyone has been talking about Ghibli, and in the last time where I had given the session for this. Okay, yeah, sure. So the last time I had not put this Ghibli trend slides over here. I put that yesterday. So as you can see in this slide, there are some traditional women who are taking some puja thali plates. But in the second, look at the first woman's pic. Instead of a nariyal, AI has shown that she is holding a woman's head. So that is something which AI is doing. Again, this is another example which I wanted to show, is that this is example of a couple and they are standing in front of a Gudi. This is a Gudi Padwa event. So what AI has tried to do is that for the Gudi, he has made the Gudi as Gandhiji. So that is one of the things I again wanted to point out, how AI, we cannot rely on AI as such. Then again, this is another group photo which you can see. For this group photo, you can see that a man is having a child. He has taken that him on his lap. And what AI has done? He has made a person having 3 legs, and on top of them, he has carried another child, and on top of that, another third child. So this is something which AI is doing. Again, this is second prompt, okay? I told him to again refine it. Then as you can see, one person is gayab, next another person has popped up out of somewhere, nowhere. Then these are another three examples. I'll just wind up fast because there's no time. Okay, so first is a Tesla autopilot mode. It mistook the moon as the yellow traffic light and it slowed down. So again, this is one of the things which AI has done. Then Amazon hiring bias. As we all know that a few years back, Amazon had incorporated AI into their hiring. Okay. Yes, then these are some of the things about Gemini being AI. As you might have known that for sticking cheese, it has suggested that you can use glue to stick the cheese on your sandwich. Then another thing that it recommends people to eat small rocks every day. Then another thing is that, you know, some basic things like smoking 2 to 3 cigarettes per day during pregnancy is good. So these are some things which AI is suggesting. Now, what is AI basically? AI refers to the development of computer systems capable of performing tasks that typically require human intelligence or advanced intelligence. Now, why do we need to improve AI? Because AI is nothing but it is just an advanced pattern recognition machine. So, okay, sure. Yes, so I'll go to my conclusion. My conclusion is that AI right now is artificial idiots, but tomorrow it might become super intelligent. The thing is that we as students, we as people, we need to be aware that we don't go from being naturally intelligent to artificially intelligent by using AI, which are, you know, that's my point which I wanted to make. So, yeah. Thank you. That's the conclusion.
Thank you so much, Dhanashree. Now I would like to invite her twin sister. She is Wadia Kathare from same college, Symposium Skill and Professional University, and her topic remains the same. So kindly restrict yourself to 7 minutes.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Vidya Kathare, a first-year student from Symposium Skills and Professional University, pursuing BTech in mechatronics. So today's topic, which I have chosen, is artificial intelligence, and I will not dwell on the things that we know, generative AI and all. I will directly come to the top industry trends which are going right now to offer a glimpse as to why we are not moving towards artificial intelligence, but artificial superintelligence. So, we are approaching AGI in coming years, which is a very hot topic currently in AI industries. And a new approach has started to work, which is called as reinforcement learning, which is basically it learns, we don't provide any normal data to it, it learns by doing. So it's an example of like a human, it learns like a human. So by 2028, it is predicted that we could reach AGI and it can go beyond human reasoning capabilities. So next slide. So these are the top 3 statements by the top 3 companies. OpenAI's Sam Altman is saying that the rate of progress is continuing and we are going to achieve and they know how to build AGI. So this is one bold claim which Sam Altman is making. Another one is Anthropic, who is making Claude, and he's saying that I'm more confident than I've ever been that we are close to powerful capabilities. So these are the three statements. DeepMind, Google's DeepMind, it's saying that we are coming in 10 years to, in 3 to 10 years, we are achieving AGI. So these are the top three statements which prove that we are going towards the age of superintelligence. Next slide, please. So this was an thing which I can prove that how AI is improving its capabilities. The first, in 2022, Yan LeCun, the chief AI scientist at Meta, he asked AI that if I take an object and put it on a table, and if I push the table, what will happen with that object? And AI was not knowing the answer. It told, I cannot answer the question. But just after 2 years, next slide, after 2 years, it gave the expected answer. So it proves that improvement happens. We just can't say that AI is dumb or AI is an idiot based on the current trends which is happening. Another example to prove my point. Next slide. Next slide. In 2022, if you ask Midjourney, which is an image creation platform, image and video creation platform, to make an otter on a plane using Wi-Fi, this was the result which it created. But after 2 years, the newest developed model, next slide, play that video. With VO2, you could create this type of videos. So it's so real based. You can't believe that it's been created by AI. We think that it's 3D and all. So this is just an example. Next slide. And this is another example where Epoch AI, Frontier Math, it designed the hardest level of Olympiad level and above that mathematics problems, which human only requires like many hours to tackle. And this was given to AI. And everything which was used to solve this sum was done through reinforcement learning, and no tactic was given to the model. As we say, generative AI has been feeding this and that. No tactic was given. This is the recent development which has happened. So we can call that this is solving the top mathematics problems. We can say that it is moving towards the next stage of intelligence. Next slide. So this is, I think you will not be able to see the image clearly. This is a comparison between human memory, the capabilities of human memory compared to a computer or an AI's memory. Next slide. So recently I read a book, Footprints of God. It was written by Greg Gillis, and in that a view in the future was, I observed a view into the future. Basically the possibilities which were discussed there, they were mind-blowing, like using artificial brains were made from carbon nanotubes, which are the current new industry trends, and they were feeded the MRI scans of the scientists, so we can go to immortalness, and all those theories were discussed there. So this can be a window in the future, and I will in the next 2 slides prove that this is the future where we are going. Next slide. So another figure I would like to introduce you all to is Ray Kurzweil. He's the inventor, and you can basically find on Google all the things he has achieved and all. So he is also believing that with using AI we can achieve immortalness, and basically you can read about him in Google. I'm short on time, so I will go to the next slide. So this is a distorted view of intelligence. We are here at the moment. This is at chimp level. AI intelligence has reached to the chimp level, and we are there, and we are seeing that, wow, AI can't do this simple task, that simple task, and we are still standing here. But the next 2 years, they will be so fast that we will not notice how the improvement or the phase has been gone through. Next slide. So the reality is that it will go beyond us, beyond human intelligence, and we will say, ki, what happened, when this happened. This is the picture which is going on currently. Next slide. So this is a zoom view, intelligence staircase, which is actually artificial superintelligence, ASI, on the top of the stairs. Next slide. So my AI journey, for a bit of personalization, I can say that first time I read about ChatGPT in a Times of India paper. That was my first step in reading about AI. And then I explored creative content like making songs, making Hindi songs, Marathi songs, all that. And I then used it for creating web pages, HTML, CSS, basic web pages. And then I created a fully fledged modern website with the help of AI. So I can definitely say that it is an artificial intelligence instead of an artificial idiot. Next slide. So this is one web page I created using AI. Next slide. This one I created in 2024. and basically a lot of prompt engineering was required. Next slide. So from my perspective, AI is currently boosting productivity. It offers business tools, and we can currently use AI to create automation workflows and all that. So time can be saved. This is the most major use of that. And AI agents is the new hot word, as you know. So from healthcare to farming, we are using AI in every field. And recently there was a development in which chips were designed which no Homo sapien or human could ever think of. In semiconductor, this is one big achievement. And the newest development, which I read about only yesterday, it's about Anthropic has developed Claude for education, and it's purposely designed for universities. So for students, it's an approach where they can learn by doing. Ready-made spoon feeding is not provided, and you can learn about it in the next slide. So it launched Claude for Education. It's a specialized version of an AI assistant that helps students develop critical thinking rather than only thinking about or directly ChatGPTing any answer. So this is a learning mode, and it was recently launched. Next slide. And another update in the AI industry is that the large language models have officially passed the Turing test, which is an test into it has achieved human intelligence, or it can trick humans into thinking that it is an human. Next slide. And if anybody is more curious about AI and everything, this is an article which I read about only yesterday, which offers a glimpse into where AI is going and the possible risks of AI. Ending that. Yeah, so I will like to end up with a quote. The first truly autonomous AI could be the last invention humans can ever make. Thank you.
Thank you, Vidya. Now I would like to invite Sia Yadav, ENTC student, to come forward and present her presentation on AI.
Hello. Yeah. Okay. So, can I get the answers to my embedded processor assignment number 2? A code for AWGN channel on MATLAB, and a recipe of idli sambar in just few minutes? I think in that case I should use an AI. Okay, good afternoon everyone. This is Sia Yadav from Modern Education Society's Wadia College of Engineering itself, and I'm a third year student. And today, fortunately, my topic is a bit different. It's impact of AI on students' thought process. Like from morning we are having so many sessions and so many brainstorming sessions for AI. And we have heard it from so many industrialists, so many professionals, but now I'm glad that I'm sharing the students' perspective to it. So, next slide. First of all, let us know. Okay, so what is AI? AI, we all know. First of all, let me ask you a question. How many of us in this room own an iPhone? Okay, so Siri, we all know, Siri is a most complicated form of AI, but AI can be found in much simpler ways, like recommending some products on Amazon or any other shopping platform, or listening to some cheesy 80s music, which most of the generation people like, on Spotify. That's also recommending through AI. So this is AI, which is a basic model under machine learning, which is basically a computer-based system which learns by itself by doing something over and over again. So this is what is AI basically. Just to give you a brief about the potential AI is having, we all have heard that it's increasing exponentially. So actually how it is? Dota 2 is a very popular game with a cash prize of $25 for winning its world championship. And people have been playing it and they have been practicing it from decades for 8 hours. A company of Elon Musk, a company called OpenAI built this AI software, which with just a weeks of training, it defeated some of the greatest players of all times. So you imagine players who have been practicing for decades for 8 hours are being defeated by an AI model which is just trained in few weeks. This is the power of AI. It is just growing exponentially. So AI, we have been talking from morning. Let me take you to what was a scenario before AI. Mostly your generations, I feel. So before AI, what was it? Classrooms, teachers, lectures, all this. And if we had to work on a project or understand a topic, what was the reference we had? Textbooks and teachers to guide us. So it was basically a trial and error method which we took. We tried, we hard worked on something, and then we used to get the result. Okay, so I would like you all to guess the person in my slide. Who is it? Anyone? Yeah, you're right. You knew it. Okay, so this is Thomas Alva Edison. He invented bulb after 999 times. But, or can I say, after he found 999 ways of not getting some output that he wanted. So this was something before AI, working hard day and night, and then getting to some result that we expected. We had internet, but we did not had AI what we have now. So this was something before. So let's come back and let's understand students' thought process, how they have been thinking earlier and how it has changed now. Okay, a simple question. A student, he is solving some aptitude questions. What if I give him solutions to it? Will it increase his number of questions, speed, or will it decrease his time and thinking power and efficiency? What do you all think? Definitely all of these, it will increase. I mean, if I've given him the solution, he will solve more number of questions, but his thinking power to, think on his own what the solution will be, will decrease. So don't you all think somewhere or the other AI is doing that? It's giving us the solution, and because of that, we have reduced our own thinking power to opt for something. We all know about this proverb, a teacher is better than 2 books. But in current scenario, can I say an AI tool is better than 10 books or a teacher? I'm sorry, teachers, but can I say that? Because around analysis says 80% of students from an age group of 15 to 25 use AI for anything like learning a new skill like coding or maybe solving their assignments and projects. They use AI, around 80% of the students. Okay, so I've talked about a scenario before AI, that's basically your generation, students' thought process, how they think. So now let's come back to this era that is after AI. Definitely AI has narrowed down the perspective of students. Like whatever I use the Gemini or the ChatGPT, whatever solution I get, I'll think in that order because I have the solution. Why would I think something else if I'm getting something ready-made? So that has narrowed down the learning perspective. Also, it has reduced my efforts of traveling, time consumption, and why would I read 10 books for getting a solution which my AI can do it? If he can go through so many books in few seconds and give me the overview, the conclusion which I need after reading all those books, definitely it has saved my efforts and my time as well. But because of this, I'm too much dependent on these technologies, more than I think required. So nowadays we are so much dependent on it. And definitely my basics get clearer. I think the students' approach right now is basics get clearer. But afterwards, the main implementation, that time the errors I'm going to get, that I need to tackle, that I need to discuss, understand, and then implement on it. One more example I had, a teacher teaches in a classroom with so many students. She has to cover a portion, definite portion, in given amount of time, right? And students with so many IQ levels, grasping power, everyone is not same. Someone is a bright student, someone may not. But she has to, her pace and her teaching ability is the same for everyone. But now if I develop an AI model that can analyze the pattern of students, their grasping power, their IQ, according to them individually. By understanding that pattern, it can make a schedule or a routine for students individually, which will help them. Isn't it so good, so amazing? Teachers' work has reduced, and also individual attention to every student can be paid, and it will be beneficial for the students as well. So this is the power of AI, which can be inculcated in schools for the students as well as helping the teachers. Let's go through the pros and cons quickly. Cons, of course, it reduces the deep thinking of the student, his self-thinking, and it weakens the memory retention. For example, if I have followed some steps to get an output, say making a recipe or working on a project, if those steps are given to me, I will go through it. But next time when I'm working on the same thing, suppose I'm making the same recipe, but that time I don't have AI, or I don't have anything, what will happen? I will not be able to recall, because I've just blindly followed it. Rather, I've learned it. So blindly following AI is the biggest con, because it's called superstition. Blindly following anything is a superstition. So that's totally not acceptable and not advantageous for the students. And also it develops laziness and procrastination in students. But again, pros, suppose a complex topic can be broken down into simpler, which will inculcate interest among students regarding that topic. So they will get inculcated to studying. That will help student, which is a pro again for students. And also, I think I should come to the conclusion part. What I think is the best way to approach AI for students is, of course, if I have a topic or a project, first approach is AI. I'll go through it. How I need to approach for the project, I'll go through the AI. Also, I'll make my basics clear through it. After this approach, then what actually I need to learn, implement, and work in my project, that is the research part, needs research. Whatever information I've got from the ChatGPT, then I will cross-check from other websites, books, and inculcate in my project while implementing. So that at that time, maybe I did not know this solution ever existed before because of ChatGPT or any other AI tool. So it is very beneficial. If I, in the conclusion part, if I ask the question, what impact is it making on the student? The answer lies in how the student is using AI. Whether he is using it blindly, of course it's of no use then. But if he is using to enhance his best of its capability to use whatever resources he has, of course it's very advantageous, and he will be ahead in the competition which is there in the corporate world. So that with that I would like to conclude. Thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sia. Now let's felicitate them. Let's reward them, as they have done a lot of brainstorming on AI. They have done a lot of study also on AI. They might have used AI for the same, but for what? Let's actually reward them. Okay, so the third runner-up is Sia Yadav, and I would like to call upon our trustee, Modern Education Society, Sachin Sanap sir, to kindly come forward and felicitate the student. Please give away the prizes. Sia Yadav, she is third runner-up. A big round of applause, students. Show some energy. Sir, please stay. Sir, please stay. 2 more awards. Only 2 more awards. No, you have to give 2 more awards.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will
And
say
okay, fine. You have to go. Hurry. Yeah. Okay, fine. Yeah.
Respected dignitaries, I express all my gratitude, as well as I express my apology also, as I am late over here because we all were busy with a function at Naurozji Wadia College. The discussion I just heard, the presentation by our student, about the AI, and I was just thinking the pros and cons, what she tried to conclude. I was in my own thought process, what will be the future of our next generation. I think this symposium or the workshop, or what we can call for this, it will create a great thought process for all of us. Being a trustee of Modern Education Society, I must say thank you to all, and MES is always with you for all this industry, academia tie-ups. Today itself, Honorable Minister of Industries, Dr. Uday Samant sir, visited our college and committed us that we, being a MIDC, that is the Maharashtra Industrial Development Corporation, are ready to have tie-up with Modern Education Society. Very soon we are submitting our proposal to the Ministeriate as well as the MIDC. I think it will help a lot for our students for hands-on training and many more. I think this will be a great opportunity for all of us. Once again, I am thankful to all of you. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I know you are all very busy, but despite your busy schedule, you have come over here and given your precious time to us, sir. Just a couple of minutes. We'll have a break for a couple of minutes. Let our principal and two more winners, we need to give them awards. Okay, fine. So now I would like to call upon Nabega ma'am. Kindly come forward, ma'am, to give away the second runner-up prize. And the second runner-up is Vidya Kathare. Vidya Kathare. She is from Symposium Skills and Professional University. And the winner is Dhanashri Kathare, her twin sister. I would like to call upon Manisha Dale ma'am, in charge principal, our college, Wadia College of Engineering. Congratulations to all the winners. So now we'll not take much time. I would like to invite Dale ma'am, Mane ma'am to come on the dais. So Mani sir, please come on the dais. Nabega ma'am, please come on the dais. And we'll proceed with validatory function. Short and sweet. Okay, shall I start? Respected Dale ma'am, our principal, Wadia College of Engineering, respected Somani sir, chairman, IET, Pune Center, respected HOD, our HOD, Dr. Pranoti Mane ma'am, respected Nabega ma'am, I'm standing before you all for this validatory function of this today's second international symposium. So without taking much time of yours, because you all have lended your ears and listened to us so patiently, now I would like to directly call upon Mane ma'am to propose vote of thanks.
Good evening all. First of all, I must appreciate the patience of all, and the credit goes to all our panelists and guests here, that the discussions were so interesting that everybody is sitting very patiently. And okay, I would not take much of your time because you all are waiting to go home. So the theme of this symposium is the impact of AI on learning and industry jobs. Though the theme was described in single sentence, but today we have observed that we have the discussions, deep down discussions on this, and we got many more things beyond the theme of today's symposium. So I would like to thank all the panelists, all the chief guests here. To name a few, mainly I would like to thank our chief guest, Dr. Prabhat Ranjan, VC DY Patil International University. He has motivated us, and he has shown a different way of looking towards AI. Then I would like to thank Dr. Bormane sir, Dr. Sandhya Venu ma'am. She was the keynote address, and very effectively she has with so many examples she has shown or explored the area of AI to us. Then all the panel discussions were very effective. I would like to thank all our panelists from industries, from academia, from banking sector, from law. And really, we are honored to have you all here, dear panelists. I would like to thank Mr. Prasad Kulkarni for his concluding remarks on today's two sessions, pre-lunch sessions. I would also like to thank Dr. P.B. Mane for his concluding remark for the post-lunch sessions, and he has also guided us beyond the theme of the symposium. Finally, I would like to thank all the participants, my dear students, HODs of different departments from Wadia Institute. I would like to thank our beloved principal ma'am, Dr. Manisha Dale. Her motivation and guidance is always with her. Special thanks to Dr. Somani sir. He has appreciated this a lot, and he has been listening, sitting and listening very patiently, and he has shown interest in this. So thank you so much, sir. Lastly, thanksgiving to my department staff, Professor Nabega Yusufzai. Actually, there are no words to me to express gratitude towards her. It's her brainchild. The symposium is her brainchild, which was executed by us all. So the idea beyond this, Nabega ma'am has given this idea. She has taken lots of efforts to make it happen. And I must say thank you to Dr. Mrinai Dhanvijay and Professor Yogita Asgar. They have taken up this activity ahead. They have coordinated it very well. A true leadership I can see through the symposium. Many leaders are being emerging through this. So it's a good platform, not only for the discussions, but it's a good platform for exploring the inherent skills of the faculty. Then I would like to thank all my ENTC department faculty for coordinating this activity very well, flawlessly. The main pillars beyond this are our supporting staff. So they are always there whenever we need support. So my department support staff, also other department support staff are there. They have been involved since so many days. Yesterday also, most of the staff were here till 10 o'clock to check the organization, whether it is working. All things are on place. So lastly, I would like to thank Modern Education Society's management. I would like to thank CFO, Dr. Ganeshan. I would like to thank Mr. Sachin Sanap. Just now, beyond his busy schedule, he just came here just to motivate us. So I show gratitude towards him also. So without taking much of your time, once again, I thank all of you here. Thank you so much. Yeah. And I hope you have enjoyed this whole day session. Thank you all. Yeah, I announce that the session is concluded, dismissed. Thank you all.